Welcome to Reading Between the Lies with your host, Edward Kavik, also known as James G. Today's topic's going to be about the Rittenhouse trial. Let's see, the rioting, protesting about the Rittenhouse trial, how the media sends mixed signals to people, like a lot of these people that are rioting actually think the victims were black when they weren't. Rittenhouse shot 3 white guys, 2 died, and everybody's in an uproar. Like Joyce reads, like we should remember the victims. One was a pedophile, I do remember. The other one, domestic violence, both felony charges they've had. Third one has a record too. I don't think he was a felony, but he has a record also. The one that lived. Let's see, Rittenhouse, they keep calling him a vigilante. See, vigilantes usually don't try to run from the attackers. They actually are the attackers. Okay? So if he's a vigilante, he's a very poor one. Then the media talks about, defunding the police, getting rid of the police, abolishing them altogether. And then they criticize vigilantism. If you get rid of the police, you will have a street full of vigilantes. That's plain and simple, okay? When there's no law, there's only street law. And when there's street law, nobody is safe. Sorry, dropped something. So the media, they talk about how Rittenhouse grabbed an AR-15, went over state line to shoot some blacks. Okay? Well, for one, he drove into Wisconsin, where his father lived, where he works, where he has family members. See, his mother, who he stays with, lives in Illinois. He went there to help, give first aid, all that stuff, protect businesses. And then you have the rioters. Okay, they keep talking about how he broke the law. What about the rioters? Damaging property, burning things, beating people. Okay? And like one reporter, I think it was Joyce Reid again, that skank on MSNBC. And yes, I call her a skank because I wouldn't call her a black American or any of that stuff, because that would imply that she's actually human. And she's not. She's a fucking parasite, a leech, and a hardcore racist. Okay. It's almost like the media wants a race war. It's like they think, oh, that'll boost our ratings if there's a race war. Let me tell you something. If there was a race war, God forbid, because nobody in their right mind would want one, how do they think that would boost their ratings? When there's a civil war, usually the media is the first to be shut down. Taken out. Don't want any false press or anything like that. Nobody telling the other side something. So, all the media would be taken out. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Fox, all of them would be gone. Nobody would be reporting on it. The only people that would probably be reporting on it is foreign journalists, not American journalists. And let's see, it's almost like the Democratic Party, the new Democratic Party, not the old Democratic Party. See, because they criticized the judge who was elected by a Democratic governor back, I think, in the 1980s, when the Democratic Party actually meant something, before the whole woke movement, all that garbage, before, basically when the Republicans and Democrats actually used to try to work together on issues to better America, not to destroy it. So, it's like some people on the Democratic Party, I'm not saying all, there are some good Democrats out there that are trying to stay clear of the whole woke movement, and AOC's like, oh, that's so last year. Okay. They want to crush this country. And then you got the celebrities wanting to bring this country down, talking about systemic racism. I have not heard of talk about racism this bad, literally. I think there's more talk about racism now than when Martin Luther King was doing his marches. Okay? Even if he was around today, he would be sitting here saying how stupid people are. Racism, it was nearly, I'm not going to say gone, but it was no issue. Blacks didn't have anything to fear about from whites. Whites really didn't have anything to fear about blacks. So, that's racism, huh? The media is trying to put racism back to, 60, 70 years ago? Maybe even longer. Trying to act like, oh, white people are hunting down blacks and killing them on an epic scale. It's a big epidemic of it. When in reality, it's 90% of blacks killing blacks. So, it's all stupid. It's all hypocritical. These people, MSNBC, okay, they got barred from the court for doing something illegal, which they knew would be illegal. And you're going to put your faith in a network like that? Or CNN, all these people that are basically stating lies. I've yet to hear any of them really talk about that the victims in Kenosha were actually whites, okay, that were there just to cause trouble. And let me tell you, when you're a 17-year-old kid and you're being chased down by a pedophile, out of all things, it's pretty bad. Mind you, I'm not real big into guns. I think the drug cartels in Mexico, those people in Africa, I prefer a machete myself. It's scarier. But let me tell you, the media is trying to start a race war. The Democratic Party, a lot of them are actually supporting it. Because hell, Democrats have been wanting the blacks gone for years. They're the ones who started the Klan. They're the ones who did those laws that forbid blacks to share the same bathrooms, the same drinking fountains, okay? That was all Democrats. The only Democrat that actually tried to do anything for blacks was, John F. Kennedy. And you see where that got him. Martin Luther King tried to help the blacks with their movement. Seen what happened to him. Okay, and you got all these black people out there protesting. Black leaders, I should say, that are trying to be the next Martin Luther King. Let me tell you, there's only one Martin Luther King. There will only ever be one Martin Luther King Jr. And you guys are definitely not it. He was into peace, not war. But back to this whole race war thing that people are trying to start, which nobody in their right mind would want. The blacks in America are 13, 14%? White Americans are over 50-something%. And let's say a lot of the whites go to help the blacks, which blacks really don't need your help, but let's say they do. You still got, what, 30-something% of whites? And then the 100% of whites that went to help the blacks are all into the woke movement, which means they don't believe in guns. They think men can have babies. You know, all this good stuff. But it would be a bloodbath pretty much on both sides. Something nobody wants, okay? That the whole, how do you put it, it'd be a self-genocide. We would just wipe ourselves out. China would move in, which would make LeBron James really happy, make a lot of the celebrities in Hollywood happy. See, LeBron James cracks me up laughing. He's so pro-China that he overlooks the slavery there, those camps that are probably making the Nike gym shoes and all that, you know, free labor. But he's so into China, not realizing the Chinese government hates blacks more than any nation in this country, in the world, I should say. If you're not Chinese, you're subhuman. And if you're not of light skin, you're really subhuman to them. Okay? Like, look at these Chinese that are in the camps. They're kind of darker than the government Chinese. But, you know, that's how this stuff goes. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You keep saying whites are racist. Majority of whites are not racist. The simpler mind white people will become racist because you keep telling them they're racist. And you got the blacks. You keep telling them all whites are racist. The simpler mind blacks, you know who you are out there, okay? You'll start actually believing all white people are racist. But keep this in mind. When the Democrats ran for office, to become president, when they had their little competition, when Kamala Harris said Biden was racist and all that, you had a black woman, black/Asian/white woman. You had other blacks, Asian, and who did you pick? The Democratic Party. Oh yeah, the old white guy, who's pretty senile. And then you listen to this old white guy, some would say your master. And like Joyce Reid, she criticizes blacks, she criticizes whites. They're all racist, all this other stuff. You have others on the networks criticizing white people. Who gives them money? They're white masters. Okay? Because let me tell you, the people that own MSNBC, NBC, CNN, those are mostly all white people. Older white people. And Democratic, I might add. So when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, you could basically all say a race war is something nobody wants. Defunding the police and getting rid of the police is something nobody in their right mind wants. Because once you get rid of the police, you just have street justice. And street justice, let me tell you, can be very, very violent. There is no legal system. No going to jail. You're just killed right there on the street. Shoplifting, dead. Okay? Because whites, blacks, Asians, every nationality in this country, which is too many to name, they're all not going to put up with it. They're all going to become vigilantes, pretty much. And the ones that don't become vigilantes will probably become the victims of vigilantes. Because not all vigilantes will uphold the law. Some will make up something just so they can kill somebody. Well, they stole this. I had no choice but to put them down, you know. So everybody just keep thinking that way. Get rid of the police. Like LeBron James says, we need to defund the police and all that, but yet he has police escorts. Police are always around him, protecting him. Get rid of the police. He has no protection. Mind you, he could hire private security. But let me tell you, if the rich want to get rid of the police, they can hire their private security. But when the poor people decide they want to take out the rich, your private security is not going to be much use against, say, hundreds of people that are going to want your money. See, the media doesn't want you to know. It's not white versus black or black versus white. In reality, it's the higher class versus the lower class. Okay? Like you see all these celebrity parties, rich people, all rich people, unmasked, not social distancing, but the peasants that are serving them better have a mask on, better be social distancing. So it all comes down to that. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Eventually, people are going to start pushing back. And it's not going to be fun, cute. MSNBC, CNN, they can have their own narratives. I wish the news would go back to the way it pretty much was when I was younger, where they would just tell you the facts, let you figure out what's right, what's wrong. Not planting in your mind what's right and what's wrong. I'm still surprised they sometimes will say this person allegedly killed this person. Because most of the time they're like, oh yeah, this person killed this person. You know, before a court hearing and all that. According to the media, you're tried, convicted. They try to execute you even before you stand trial. Isn't that what the blacks complained about back in the day? That they were found guilty for crimes that a lot of them didn't even commit. And now the media is trying to do it to everyone. Well, if you're white, they're trying to do it to you. And you ever notice when it's a black person that speaks out about the media, this stereotyping, all, you know, negative toward the media, okay, right away they'll have a black person talking about it, not a white person, because they don't want them to seem racist, even though according to them all white people are racist. Como, all of them, they're all racist, they're white. So just keep all that stuff in mind. And remember, nobody wants a race war. Nobody. Well, some people do, but they're a very, very small majority. And the ones that do are stupid, incompetent, and not sure of themselves. It's like they're saying the white man keeps the black man down, okay? When the white man doesn't keep really anybody down. Well, most white men. Look at LeBron James, how much money he has. Oprah Winfrey, how much money she has. These black news reporters, look how much money they have. If whites kept the blacks down, why did they have so much money? They're not doing it very good. Well, with all that, I'm going to be signing off. I'll probably possibly do another video later today. You guys, everyone out there, keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, and remember, nobody wants a race war. So I wish the media would quit trying to push toward one, because I know that's what they're trying to do. Okay? So I'm signing off. God bless all of America.